Good morning. It's August 17th, 2024, and this is the Wall Street Weekly Wrap-Up. Wow, what a week. The best week in the NASDAQ since November. The best week in the S&P since December. Remember when we bought 2 Fridays ago? It wasn't the low, but it was the day before the low, which was Monday afterwards. Bought 3 stocks then. If you bought then, you made money. I don't care what you bought. You probably made money. We also have a new stock this week. We'll talk about it at the end. But let's get into the market. Holy smokes. NVDA, the Blackwell chip is delayed. Stock goes down. I mean, this is what it did. I mean, it's not going to make the Blackwell. The revenues aren't going to come up. And then Foxconn, of all people, I didn't know Foxconn was making the NVIDIA chip. That was a surprise to me. I always thought it was Taiwan Semiconductor, but apparently both, because it can't keep up with the demand. The Blackwell, the G200 chips, going to be shipping in December. That means the demand is there. They've got it sold out. Next year's worth is gone already. Billions upon billions of dollars. The earnings coming out on the 28th. Well, look at this. Last earnings up, up, up. Last earnings up, up, up. It's not going to look bad at all. The 100 chip, which is the current one, the Grace Hopper, is sold out. Everybody wants the Grace Hopper. They can't get it in any other country other than the United States. So, yeah, AMD's got a chip, but you got to be able to make it in mass quantities. You can't make, 50 chips and say it's good. These people want to buy billions of dollars of these AI chips. So, scaling up, taking the supply from Taiwan and Foxconn is a tough issue because NVIDIA's got years ahead of them. So, again, in our stock portfolio, we're not going to sell it. Last year we sold some stock, and I paid thousands of dollars in taxes of capital gains. Save, buy and hold. Buy good stocks, sell when it completely collapses or there's something wrong, but not the up and down of the market. So look at this. You would have sat there and you would have bought it that Friday, you'd have been low. Remember when I was telling people? Buy it when it gets around past the 50-day moving average. It's getting right here at the 200-day moving average right here. Not a bad time to buy NVIDIA versus way up here, way above the 20, way above the 50, way above the 200. You get a chance again, maybe a year from now, year and a half, 2 years from now. But you always get a chance. You just have to wait. Walmart, I remember when Kramer sold it. Oh, it's upset. It's flat. They don't have an idea. I says, boy, they make revenues every month. They make billions of dollars a quarter. They're growing. It may be not as fast as rated you wanted to go, and you sold out of Walmart way back here, way back over here, and now it's going up. They hit everything. Look at us jump. When it came out with the earnings, it just jumped up. It's above the trend line, which if you want to buy Walmart, it comes down. You always have an opportunity to buy. Just wait till it comes down. But now it's too late. We're holding. I tell people, I watch Warren Buffett's going to get a, $90 million check from Microsoft. I mean, not Microsoft, but Apple for dividends. He already has enough Coke dividends that it pays for the price of his whole stock. And that's what you do because they raise it all up all the time. 67 cents, 4.7. Yeah, it's okay. But retail's having a tough time. Remember, there's a lot of them that are negative retails. E-commerce is going good. I buy Walmart.com. Good products, fast delivery. Sometimes they deliver the same day. From the local shop, they just put it in a package and walk it to my door. And I think that's not bad. Because everybody wants to get what people want. You don't want to wait 2 weeks for a product. NASDAQ. Remember this was like 12, 11 and stuff. Best week since November. You trying to time it, you should have bought when we bought, when we added stocks to it. S&P is up. You waited. Now you missed 7% of gains. Holy smokes. What are you going to do to get that back? And, everybody talks about the Russell. I mean, Tom Lee, 50%. This is going to be 50%. I don't know. Who are the best stocks? NASDAQ 100. The S&P 500. In that order. Dow, we got to celebrate. The Dow didn't listen to me. I told them when it was down in the peaks, kick out IBM and put NVIDIA in. No, they didn't do that. Dow was like a turtle, They had a chance. You could have gotten NVIDIA in the Dow Jones Industrial. But IBM is not. is not a company you want to have in there anymore. And of course, I can pick on Salesforce too, but you got to put NVIDIA. Geez, the third largest company in the country on the index, and you don't have it in the industrials. But look at it, 40,000. Let's put my $40,000 Dow cap, because I remember 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. And I think that's a pretty big accomplishment. I mean, 2007 we put the 10,000 Dow hat back on after it had collapsed. So if you think about it, since 2007, 14 years, I don't know, 17 years. 17 years, it's gone up 4 times. That's not bad. Indicators, look at this. Remember, this was almost at 5% a couple months ago. Crude oil still in the 70s, good. Natural gas coming below $2 pretty soon. Plenty of natural gas. Gold, here it is. Boom. All-time high. All-time high. We were buying at 1,600, 1,700, 1,800. Now it's at 2,500. Gold should be about 5% of your portfolio. Just pick one time a year you're going to buy some gold, and it'll average out over time. But you got to have it. How much Bitcoin? Some people are talking 5%. I watch a couple guys. They talk. Well, I think 2%. I mean, Bitcoin got an issue. Really the source. How much is there? All this other stuff about lost accounts and making money and mining and all that. Silver, was over 30 coming up. Copper didn't go below 4, so that's always good. But gold, everybody's looking at it. Solid metal, it's got fancy. We have got all the sellers of gold out. So when we break a record, that means we have new buyers, and now we have to get the old people to sell, Because remember, FCX, our gold company, #1 gold miner in the world, we're in it. We got some physical gold, we got FCX. Put your gold in a safe deposit box. Never have it in your house. It's too valuable to keep in the house. You just got to have it in a safe deposit box. And Home Depot, largest Home Depot chain, or not the home building chain or renovation chain, revenues went up. I mean, that's not bad. You can see from the market, they liked it. Earnings right here, pop it right up. Here's what I always like listening to on the calls. Macro uncertainty. That means we don't know what the interest rates are going to do. Consumer demand, weaker spend. This is everywhere. Weaker spend. Walmart's doing good because people are receiving value at the Walmart stores. Shopping, groceries, everything. People are not buying the high-ticket items. Ulta, Coach, everything else. They are seeing weak spend. People even got money. They're spending now. So this is an issue where people are looking for the deals. You can go to one store and you can buy a package salad for like $7, and another store's got it for half the price. So people are looking around. I hate to say, I bought, what was it, 6, I think they're 8 ounce, but look like 6 ounce filet mignons for $5 a piece. That's incredible. 3 months ago they were $20. So it depends. It goes up and down, and as spending slows down, there's going to be a lot more supply, and then prices will go down. So some people are saying deflation. Remodels, yeah, because kitchen remodels $10,000 if you do it right, and power equipment, yeah, people are working on their yards. It's a good time. A lot of good power equipment too. New holdings, a company I'm not familiar with. They do a lot of work with banking and finances and all the stuff on the phone for Brazil, United States, Mexico, but what it caught me, the revenues jumped 65%. 5.2 million customers. This is a growth company. Now, of course, it's not cheap. 362. It's not cheap at all. I mean, not 362. I must have put the wrong chart up or something. Well, we'll look at it. But it's something we're watching. I want to get a little bit more information. We already got Morgan Stanley and J.P. Morgan. Do we want to add another financial? We got a lot of stocks already, so probably not. Starbucks. Oh, we're going to get rid of the CEO, Laxman, and replace it by the Chipotle CEO, who got $10 million plus $71 million of stock options. That's $80 million. I think any CEO, for a medium-sized company would leave for that kind of price. And what's it do to the stock? It jumps. Here's Starbucks' problem. My friends, 18-minute wait. 18 minutes to get a cup of coffee. I can go through the drive-thru on Monday morning and Dunkin', and it's only 5-7 minutes. 18 minutes. That's a long time to sit in your car or go to the thing and wait. And, I like Dunkin' over Starbucks, so, and the coffee's not cheap, Dunkin's not cheap either. So that's why I got the Keurig. I make the coffee, probably more at home than I do buy there, but Dunkin's got, every month, it's got a new flavor, and I kind of like to try them, so same as Starbucks. So that's what's in there. And of course, everybody's waiting for the pumpkin this and spice this and everything else. So is it something I think of? But look at this trend line. Holy smokes, that broke a long trend line. And it's up above the 200-day moving average, so people are hopeful. But I'm not a fan of Starbucks. Again, our retailers, we're going to have Walmart, we're going to have Elf. Those are our two solid ones. Starbucks and coffee, high price, long waits, issues with employees want to unionize. Nothing's good. Flutter, which is FanDuel, the number one, 47% market share in the country. It is huge. DraftKings, did not like the Illinois law here where they're going to tax revenue at 40% or profits at 40%, which is an increase of maybe like what it was before quite a bit. FanDuel says, well, we'll just absorb it. Big deal. Because we're making billions. We're not making a little bit more money, but Illinois will take a little less. Every state's going to watch Illinois, because if Illinois starts collecting all these millions, probably $1 billion in this extra tax, other states are going to say, hey, we should do that too, because we could use that money. That's how Illinois is paying off the debt and everything else. We've got money for everything, because between marijuana, gambling, and other things, it's pretty good. 20% jump, boy, this is not bad. And of course, earnings come out, they jumped. They liked it. The crowd liked that earnings, and gambling's in there. Remember, we don't have Florida, we don't have Texas yet. Maybe we'll never get those states, but man, this market is huge. And so I think it's a part of the thing, and people bet on it, and like I said, you can bet stock in Gambling Anonymous. That's probably another one you want to buy. CPI, here's the big deal: 2.9 core, under 3. Everybody knows September is going to be a rate cut. Is it 25% or 50% basis points? This is the issue. Everybody's looking at it. Overall, we're in at 2.5. Nobody cares about the overall. They'll just look at the core, minus shelter, minus cars, minus everything else. It's a little higher if you take out the shelter and stuff. But it's pretty good numbers. It is slowly going down, and that's what everybody wants. And remember, if they cut the rates, home builders, small caps, everybody's going to benefit. Credit cards, everybody's going to benefit with a lower rate. Again, Arrowhead, one of our GLP plays, it was high. We bought it down at 18.22, and it's back down to 22. This is you got to have, with these biotechs, you got to have some study. If I would have bought it at 36 or 40, I would have sold it. I took a loss. There's some number you take and you just get out of it. But they got a couple things that they think will help, for obesity, and of course, obesity stocks are going to be good to watch. And clinical trials means we have to wait phase 1, 2, 3, and if it passes phase 3, it's going to be worth probably 10 times. But what's the odds? I would say 10% to get to phase 3. So, is it going to make it? We hope. SIRI, Buffett bought SIRI. Nice way to say bought. Makes profit. That's a good thing. That's what Buffett likes. Want to see the money? They dominate the market. Every car comes with a SIRI. I use it every day. Every day I'm on SIRI. The revenues are low, and of course I think I'm up at $23 a month. It's a lot of money. It's not it's not cheap to have SIRI, but it's on my phone, it's on my computer, it's on my car. I just like it. Between the having the stocks and the news and everything else on there, it's just so much nicer. And so you can see, when was Buffett buying? He was buying in, this, and you almost wonder if people kind of knew he was buying, because look at this thing. It got up to $4, and there was no explanation. We just saw it going up. There was no news. So I was thinking, well, all right, it's going up, but what's the, that doesn't mean anything. It's just a normal market. Well, when we announced it, was like Wednesday or so, right about here, I got in below $3. Remember, he's going to hold for a while, and other people are going to start buying SIRI. because Buffett bought SIRI, just like kind of what we've had SIRI stock on and off for years. But this is the lowest I think I've ever entered SIRI. I mean, usually it's 5. I've seen it up to 10. I mean, this is a stock dominates its market, makes money. That's the big two things. Now you got to just turn it around. Part of this thing with the revenue is that as demand weakens like Home Depot, people have to cut something, and maybe it's been SIRI. I don't know. So lower rates may help it a little bit. People get a little break, they might get back SIRI, but I think you have to look at it a little bit longer, a year term. One thing nice about Buffett, it'd be real rare for him to get out of it real quick. So and one thing nice is that they might talk to the board and talk about, here's what we can do, with SIRI, and go through, these deals and stuff. All right, remember every month we made, I think it was 14 sectors or 12, 13 sectors, instead of the traditional 11. They always have the Dow theory, which is the transports and the industrials, and there really isn't a Dow transport one. So I like this IYT transport ETF. If I want to see what the transports are doing, this is the chart I go to. But here's the transports we watch, and of course, those are highlighted in yellow, Ryder and Matrix, 10%, 9% revenue jumps. That's what we want. It's growing. We don't want UPS at -1. We don't want JetBlue at -8. We don't want other ones in there, rental companies and stuff like that. So I'm trying to, I just started thinking anything that moves people or packages is a transport company, I want to call it. It's not what the Dow Transport has and everything else. I think they got a lot of dinosaurs in there, but I just try to put everything, even Lyft. Look at Lyft. Holy smokes. Uber, 15%. We had Uber. There's a time we might think about going to one of these two if we had a third transport. But, like I said, we're overweight too much right now and don't have to buy everything. Well, let's look at the heat map. We bought SIRI. We didn't sell anything. Look at it. It's all green. Wow. This is a pretty amazing chart. Amazon up, Microsoft, Apple, NVDA. Look at it. 18%, 19%. That's 2 years worth of gains on a stock. You could have bought that thing when we bought Friday. And telling people, buy it when it gets down. And we got enough. NVIDIA's our largest portfolio. We're not adding any more. We had other stuff to catch up to NVIDIA. This is how our plan is. A little bit every month, but look at the finance. Everything. Utilities, of all things. Of course, the oils are about the only one, with Exxon down a little bit on the pharmaceutical sides. Pfizer, Merck is our stocks, and of course, Lilly just momentum hog. You could go back. We bought Boeing and a couple other stocks, and Intel and stuff. But why'd you buy Intel? Well, because it was cheaper than it was in 1999, and maybe they'll get rid of the CEO and it'll pop just like Starbucks will. I don't know. I'm never advocating somebody get fired, but there's a correlation between this. But even Intel was up. So, and this is the whole thing, is that you want to buy good stocks that dominate the market with little competition, and you'll do well. And that's why we were in all sectors. Everybody says you could be all tech. Well, we could, but you'd be having a heck of a stomach ache and heartburn. All right, what a great week. Let's see you next week. I know it's a long show, but we had a heck of a week, and we're going to talk about it. See you next week. Have a good week, and I'll see you next Saturday.